Hello, BSides Cairo. Thank you for having me along. I've really enjoyed the past few days exploring your city. The vibrancy never fails to surprise me. So I'm Heidi. I can be found on Twitter as winner_Heidi. I've been posting lots of cats of Cairo here, so if you'd like to check out my tourist photos, just have a look at my Twitter. So today, during my talk, I'll be quoting a lot of software applications and online resources. And to save me trying to stick lots of links in my presentation, I'm just going to post them on Twitter after the talk, to save everyone some time. So you can check that out there. So I'm from the land down under. Australia has a thriving security culture, which is blossoming, and we have lots of security conferences and a great community. I'm more comfortable as an organizer than I am as a speaker, and I'd like to give a shout out to BSides Melbourne, conference that I help with. Our first conference is in 2 weeks. As an organizer, I know how hard this is to put this together and the work that goes into this. So a big thank you and well done to BSides Cairo for putting on this conference. It's an honor to be here. So what do? I do a lot of things in security. I've worked many places as a consultant and a direct employee. But while my history is in telecommunications and enterprise system development, I've had the pleasure of working in security in many places, from everything from compliance through to malware analysis. At the moment, I'm working with blue teams, setting up security operations. But the thing I love the most is giving back to the community and encouraging others to find their passion in this space. I do a lot of work with adults and kids playing capture the flag games for education and fun, and I find it rewarding as the kids and the adults who volunteer learn and grow. The workshop's always top rated, so we must be doing something right. So what this talk today is all about is capture the flag games. This is designed as a 101 introduction talk and covers what the point of it all is, in addition to some handy tooling. So what are capture the flag games? So there are competitions and puzzles based on real-world information security vulnerabilities and challenges that are played online or at security events and conferences. I think this particular image that we've got up here is actually from one of the DEF CON events, and they famously have a lot of people turn up for those. Individuals or teams race against the clock, solving complex and fun exercises, gathering flags to earn points. It's an opportunity for existing and new skills to meet and grow in a great environment. So there's several different game styles when it actually comes to these particular games. So you have the standalone, Jeopardy, and also the attack and defend. So standalone can be known as war games. These are great for practicing on and aren't event-based, and they're always available. As you play, they get progressively harder. So some examples of those available are Over the Wire, which is an online challenge, which has been available for quite a long time. Most of them are command line games. Hacker101 CTF is available as well, which is relatively new. And of course, you've got the Hack the Box challenges, which are always varied and have a lot of community content. So Jeopardy format is probably the more traditional format, which is actually known. So starting as an individual sort of games, you've got Pico CTF, and then you've got that escalating towards things like Seesaw CTF and Google CTF. So Jeopardy is generally split up between different categories of play, and they escalate in hardness and also points as they go along. So these playstyles, you can be playing as individuals, groups, or just as pairs, but the content varies directly depending as to with the designer's knowledge, experience, and theme. So you've got things such as binary exploit, cryptography, steganography, social engineering, vulnerable apps and webs, forensics, network, physical security, virtual reality, OSINT, mobile, and there's a lot. And it really all depends as to who's actually putting this particular work together. So as a result, there's different tool sets that you can actually use depending as to the challenges you have available. So as I said, this is a 101, so it's just some examples of the tools. So for steganography, you've got things along the lines of EXIF, when you need to view the EXIF information on files, steg crackers, when you need to brute force and uncover data, and GIMP, when you've thrown strings on a file but you know that you're dealing with a stego challenge but don't really know what is going on, and so you throw it for a GIMP as a last resort after you've been playing for it for 2 hours, and it turns out that someone's just embedded the code for the actual CTF flag in the image, and all you had to do was change the color palette. So, reverse engineering, you've got different challenge tools on there. So, binwalk, for example, it helps you with reverse engineering, extracting and analyzing firmware. IDA, which is probably one of the most popular versing tools, and I love it a lot. Binary Ninja, if you want to do your binary analysis. And Anger, which is binary analysis framework, which, when used properly, can be used in CTF to crunch processing time. You can pretty much just go and fuzz your way towards flags. But that does actually take some configuration. You kind of need to know what you're doing, but I recommend checking it out if you haven't already done so. So social engineering and OSINT, I'm going to be thrown in the same category here because social engineering CTFs, while they do exist, aren't as popular as I really feel that they should be. So the first half of these sort of CTFs actually comprise of doing research and looking at what's actually available out there. So you're going to be looking at flexing some OSINT skills for those. Now, a really good toolkit which is available is Bellingcat's Online Investigation Toolkit. It's a list of tools used for verification and open source investigations. And so if you're also looking at Awesome OSINT, it's a curated list of OSINT resources. And then you've also got Social Engineering, The Science of Human Hacking. It's a book by Chris Hadney, and it covers the science of the behavioral hack. So that's the second half of the social engineering side of things. But if you wanted to look more into the social engineering CTF side of things, socialengineer.org puts up a range of podcasts and resources on the subject. So, approach. Really, in the end, you really need to just give it a go. So, step one, go find a game. Go play a game, or you can just go watch a game. Step two, you need to be context aware. Really need to kind of be paying attention to what it is that you're doing. If you're trying to throw your biggest, your best tools at points that's only worth 50 points, you're not really you're wasting your time. Pay more attention to what it is that you're actually doing and save your effort for the largest skill points. And research the problem that you're actually working on. If you're not sure what it is, especially when you're starting out, there's a lot of walkthroughs that are available, and you really do need to actually check out as to things that are available. Like, Google's your friend, and go and have a look at things that may be available on the web that may be comparable to the particular exercise that you're currently working on. Use your available resources. Now, your resources aren't just your tools and your Googles. They're the people that you know and the people within your community. There's people that have a lot of different varied range of skill sets that you can actually go and consult and lean on. I was speaking to someone earlier that was actually on one of the university CTF teams who seems to be extremely knowledgeable on the subject. So there's clearly a lot of skill available here locally. You just need to go speak to the right people. Don't be put off. It gets hard. This is the thing, is that every time you do something for the first time, or every time you try something which is different, it can be pretty hard. Don't be put off. Just give it a go, and just research and try your best, because you may spend 3 hours doing one particular challenge, but at the end of it, when you actually get the flag and you're actually able to get those points, it's pretty successful and pretty good for yourself. And the final step is return to step one. Do it again, but bigger and better. Go find yourself a team. Go compete in international challenges and up your skill set the best that you can. Or you can go and extend those particular skills into different areas. So things like bug bounties, where you can actually extend your skills that you can get within playing CTFs towards things like bug crowd, hacker 101. The same skill set can be actually used within pen testing. And also, when it comes to the forensic side of things, digital forensics and incident response definitely needs people with skills like you. Or you can just go out and make your own CTF. So there's a lot of different resources actually available on the internet for you, and these are things like CTFD has a platform that you can either download yourself or actually set up your own challenges with. You can even just use their challenges that they have available. There's a large library. Neverland CTF is another option. They also put out their own game every year, but you can also do the same thing, where they'll help you put together a platform and with challenges. It's up to you. Facebook CTF also has a really, really cool CTF platform which is available. It's really shiny and has lots of blinky lights, but at the same time, it's, unless you have a really large infrastructure, probably wouldn't look at using it for a large game, as it can be really resource heavy. And there's also open source, open CTF, and things along those sort of lines. But really, in the end, just give it a go. You can learn a lot, and there's lots of things that are out there for you to try. And I spoke really fast, so that's pretty much it for me today. Thank you very much.